Hello, Joe Musselwhite here, aka Mighty Joe. As promised, today's going to be a training video, a tutorial if you will, on grip strength training with bands, exclusively with bands. Ever since I got my certification for resistance band training, I've been testing and experimenting with all kinds of ways to strengthen your grip if you only had bands. So that's what we're going to go over today, specifically over flexion, finger flexion. So without any further ado, let's get right into some training with bands. Okay, the bands I'm going to recommend come from resistancebandtraining.com. Dave Smith's the owner of that website. He's also the one where I got my certification, and he's also one of my training mentors over at Elite Training Mentorship. But the bands I'm going to specifically be using today, and that I highly recommend you get from Dave, is the purple, the green, a blue, and his strongest band, a mega band. It's a black band. So that's the 4 bands I'm going to be demonstrating today. But keep in mind, you can also, if you're relatively new to grip strength, don't be afraid to get a black one or a red one. But these are the ones I'm going to use today, and these 4 are the ones I did most of my testing and experimenting with. Okay, finger flexion has to do with the 4 flexor groups in your forearms. Okay, and in your fingers themselves, there is no muscles in your fingers. It's only the digitorum tendons that's in here at their distal attachments on the at the base of the metacarpals and the distal ends of your phalanges. So it's just tendons, but what's really producing the force here is the flexor muscles in the belly of your forearm. Okay, so what I come up with, these bands from purple on up to black are wide enough to put the tips of your fingers on and perform flexion movements like this. It's finger flexion, that's all it is, okay? And the stronger you go up in bands, it's more of an advantage because they get wider and it makes it easier. And you don't have to keep your fingers perfectly locked like just extended fingers. You can actually keep them bent, but you're still doing finger flexion. You're strengthening your fingers. You can do it palm up. You can do a neutral grip with your thumb up, or palm down like this, which would be a pronated grip. Palm up will be a supinated grip. Okay? Those of you with bigger hands and that have been into grip training for a while, go to the blue band. It's way stronger and it's wider. So you can do there's no sense in making this complicated. Finger flexion is finger flexion, and you're strengthening it like this. One thing I failed to mention is if you'll get the band utility strap from Dave, you can hook several bands to it at once, going from your lightest to your heaviest that you're going to train that day. And just right there, you don't have to sit there and keep changing bands. Just put the 2 or 3 you're going to use on the band utility strap and you're ready to go. Another advantage of the band utility strap, you toss it in your bag, and no matter if you go to the park, to a commercial gym, it doesn't matter. You'll have somewhere to hook your bands without cutting them or tearing them. So keep that in mind. That's a huge advantage to training your grip with bands. Okay, now, my favorite one is this mega band, the black one. Now that's like 4 inches wide. You can really work your finger flexion with this band. But check this out. If you took, now what this is a deck of cards, a full deck of cards, unopened, and I put athletic tape around it, 2 layers each way, vertically and horizontally the other way. And it has some give to it, but you could use a piece of wood the same size and wrap tape around it so the sharp corners don't cut your band. But if you wanted to train your fingers, both hands at the same time, you could put this in this black band like this, put your fingers through here like this on each side, and then when your fingers meet, load the band with some tension. Check that out. That will really pump the flexors up in your forearms. And it'll fatigue your fingers real quick. So, and you could do static holds. You know, I do dynamic and statics when I train my grip. So, but this is a good way to knock out both hands at the same time. And it don't take many reps to where the whole belly of your forearm is just engulfed in blood. And again, you could move the band up and down to work from different angles. Work at an angle from the floor up, or from the ceiling down, or just keep it like mid-body. So there's all kinds of angles you can play with too. So the next video is going to be on different grips you can attach to these bands. For example, a fat grip or the Manus grips. But that'll be in the next video. And in the future, in the near distant future, I'm going to do some training videos on arm wrestling training, strengthening with bands and bands only. So stay tuned for the next video. I hope this one helped. Hope you enjoy it. That's finger flexion, strengthening your finger flexion with bands. And remember, if you want to get these bands, go to resistancebandtraining.com and tell Dave that Joe Musselwhite sent you, and he'll take care of you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.